As I said, Jim Stewart was here with us at Post 9 to look ahead to Disney tomorrow. The most important thing in your mind is what?
The numbers on streaming, the sports, and of course the regular streaming thing. This is like, to me, it's going to be an incredibly revealing quarter because it's the first time Disney is all in on streaming. We've got the regular Disney stuff, Disney Plus, Hulu, and then we finally have ESPN going direct to consumer. So I'd say the profit and revenue will be less revealing than those new subscriber numbers for ESPN.
Are you tired of waiting for successor information?
Well, we aren't getting much, and the deadline is creeping up. Of course, I've been following this for years. It's a fascinating human drama. Look, no word has come out. There's still kind of talk that they're the two leading candidates inside. There's continuing speculation they might have co-CEOs. There's even, I've heard talk that they'd have co-CEOs and Iger would stay as chairman with the two co-CEOs sort of reporting to him.
What works for Netflix works for Disney?
I mean, none of this is completely implausible, although I think, if Iger doesn't finally leave, and if he stays as chairman, that's going to raise a lot of concern on the part of it.
It's interesting because I think about some of the issues that, the last CEO had and didn't work out. Two CEOs would in part solve the question over run the business, run the creative.
Right.
You can speak to both with two people. You don't have to find the perfect person to be both. And it's critical that they have to solve both.
Yeah, you've got the two internal candidates, Dana, the creative chief, and you've got Josh at theme parks, and those are two huge components of the business. But I've often felt they can learn the other side of the business. You don't have to be an expert in everything. A lot of the, like some previous people have come up through theme parks, through being chief financial officer. They didn't necessarily run the movie business. So I don't think that necessarily means you can't just have one of them. Or you could also leave one of them in charge pretty much of that and give them a lot of autonomy without giving them the CEO title. So I think there are ways to thread that needle. We'll just have to see what they do. Now, I have not heard of any word of them going outside the company.
Really?
No, I've talked to some big investors who've been looking for evidence of that. They say there's no sign that the Gorman-led search committee is reaching to non-Disney candidates, but that could still happen.
Because the whole word, like the last time, was that you need somebody in that role who knows how to read a script, knows how, right, you read that and you can tell if you can make a big blockbuster movie, but also just given some of the concerns in the creative community in Hollywood over the last handful of years with strikes and all this other stuff, somebody who can hold hands a little bit and say it's going to be okay.
You definitely need that. But of course, the other wild card is the technology side of the company. I mean, it's kind of old world to be thinking about theme parks and the studio when they're a big, tech distribution company. Now you've got rumors that, Amazon, Netflix sniffing around the Warner Brothers situation.
Yeah.
So you continue to see this convergence of big technology and the traditional media companies. So if you were going to look outside, my guess would be they'd be looking in the technology area.